Hello, my name is Grant, and today we will be discussing 4 common chords to get you started and how to read their chord diagrams. So the 4 common chords, these are like maybe you've seen videos or articles about the 4 chords for you to play hundreds or thousands of songs. It's true. These chords can get you really far in playing a lot of music. And the chords that we're going to be talking about today are C major, A minor, F major, and G. So the first thing I want to talk about is reading the chord diagram. Reading a chord diagram is essential to learning new chords. This will arm you with the tools to learn them on your own if you're curious about, learning some specific song that has a new chord that maybe we're not going over in the class. So let's talk about the shape here. It's going to be a grid. The vertical lines are going to represent the different strings on the ukulele, kind of like this. So if we're looking at it like this, we're looking at the strings going straight down. And so the leftmost line, vertical line, is going to be the top string. And that goes on to your right, where the rightmost vertical line is the bottom string. Now, on these grids, there's going to be kind of boxes going down. And each box is a different fret. So that would be like all of these frets, all the second, all the third, all the fourth. And on here, you'll see a dot with where you place your finger. Okay, now the dot, for example, for C, has a dot on the very rightmost line, and it's the third box down. We're going to put our ring finger, so that's the third finger, on the third fret of the first string. So for all these chords, we're going to strum them as all the strings at once. None of these chords do you just have to play 3 or 2 or something like that. Full swoop. So that's C major. Let's go ahead and play that 4 times in a row. I'll count us off 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. C. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So that is C major. And typically that's written in sheet music just as the letter C. C major. Now the next one is A minor. Now this chart, if we're looking at the chart, you'll notice also some zeros at the top. You see those? So the one that we press down is not going to have a 0 up top because that's the fret that is pressed down. The other ones are open though. And so when they're open, you have these zeros up top to let you know that you're playing these strings open. You're not just ignoring them. So for A minor, we have our middle finger on the 2nd fret of the top string. Middle finger, 2nd fret, top string. 4th string. And then the rest are open. So you strum all the way through. Now a good strum, you can do it in a couple different places on the ukulele. I prefer you strum right over the sound hole, but sometimes I gravitate a little bit up here because it sounds nice. But anywhere within this region is all good. So that's A minor. Let's go ahead and play that 4 times in a row. Same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. A minor. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Now the next chord is F, but it's going to introduce the anchor finger. So an anchor finger is where there is already a finger placed down that I don't have to move to get to that next chord. This will become super important once you're playing very fast switches that you don't necessarily have time to think about, well, where's the finger? Oh no, where's it gonna go? So using these anchor fingers is super useful. So between A minor and F, that middle finger here is the anchor finger. You can leave that middle finger down and add the first finger onto the 1st fret of the 2nd string. And that makes it an F major. So again, that's just an F, the letter F. F major. So it's middle finger, 2nd fret, top string. Index finger, 1st fret, 2nd string. All right. Let's go ahead and play that 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. F major. 1, 2, 3, 4. The last chord we need to get down is G major. So the chart of this one will be the most involved because there's now 3 fingers being pressed down. So you should see a dot on the 2nd fret of the first string, so the one all the way to the right, a dot on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string, and a dot on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. So this one's a little bit of a pretzel. The fingers are very important here. So the first finger that we place down is the middle finger, and that's on the 2nd fret of the 1st string. So in order to do this next note, I curve my index finger around to the left. You see how my wrist is curving here to the left side? That's making it so I can almost have the fingers like this, to where they're standing next to each other, but now curved to the side. Instead of like trying to make them, I don't even know if you can do that, like vertically stack on top of each other. So bring your wrist a little bit out to the left, and then have the index finger fall in on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. Then we've got our 3rd finger playing the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. Now this one introduces some kind of, you may be muting some of those notes. Maybe when you play it, you hear it. First thing to check if you hear that is to press down a little bit more firmly. So make sure that you're pressing down nice and firm. And if it's, if you're not having your fingers curved enough, so you have this little claw-like shape in all the fingers, then you're going to be laying a little too flat, so you're going to be muting the strings with the underside of your finger. So you want to have a nice curve so that the strings underneath can clear underneath this little ridge. Okay, so if I have this, notice that that's going to be the ring finger there, not touching this bottom string. If I go too far south, then it's going to be muting that string below it. Okay? So that's a G major. Again, middle finger, 2nd fret, bottom string. Index finger, 2nd fret, 3rd string. And ring finger, 3rd fret, 2nd string. Let's go ahead and play that one 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this will get you playing thousands of songs. These chords are the bedrock of a lot of music. Okay, it's just these 4 chords: C major, A minor, F major, and G major. And so a good way to practice these is to take your time and do 4 strums on one chord. So that'd be C. Let's do just C to A minor to try this out. So you do 4 strums on C major. Then you rest for 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you play A minor. This is a good way to start moving in between these chords. Let's go ahead and try that together, where I count us off and then we play 4 strums of C, 4 beats of rest, 4 strums of A minor. 1, 2, 3, 4. C major. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest. 2, A minor, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice. So you can do that with any of these changes: A minor to F, F to G, A minor to G, whatever one you want to do. I would recommend doing 2 at a time just to make sure you're really getting good at that shape. And then moving on from there, maybe making the rests shorter, so doing 2 beats of rest. But that's a great way to practice these chords. That's all I have for today. To learn more about these common chords and to reading these chord charts and things like that, be sure to hop into a live class, and we'll see you next time.